Okay. All right. So, like, in case nobody, realized, I've been going through a lot lately. Found out I have a baby on the way. And I had to go get a job. Well, in the process of after getting the job on the way to work, I got into an accident. An accident to which it was either run someone off the road or getting a head-on collision, because I was in a passing lane passing somebody, and this person next to me sped up to where I could not get ahead of them before the passing lane ended. They were fucking with me. And it was either bump them off or take a head-on collision. And this person was fucking with me already, not letting me pass when there was plenty of room and time to do it. It was purposely preventing me from passing in a passing lane where it was legal to do so. Anyway, it's not a case I'm going to fight. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to look for a plea deal. I'm going to say, look, I've got this much in my bank account. The last fines you gave me were $328. Give me something higher. Give me a $600 fine. I can pay that today. Woo, woo, or whatever. Something, and restart my driving supervision. Restart it completely from day one. Don't violate it. Don't take it away and give me a conviction. Just be creative and restart it. Anyway, I stopped taking that road that accident happened on. And I started taking the tollway to work. But that's not the only shitty thing that's going on in my life. I've been trying to find an apartment. Everybody I talk to, everybody I talk to, they're not willing to rent to me because I have a pit bull. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're one of those people that sides with the left politically, talking about black people are oppressed, but you're not talking about how pit bulls are oppressed, it really makes me want to slap you. Because before pit bulls were used in fighting circles, and people really ought to do their fucking history and their research and suck it up and quit being scared. Because pit bulls were a nanny dog. They were good for defending children. That's what they originally were trained to do, was to protect their owners' children. They were nanny dogs. That's why they appear so vicious when they bark, is because they were bred to defend babies. What more precious in this life that we would be willing to defend at the cost of whatever's trying to hurt them, at the cost of that thing's life? What's more precious than a baby? Nothing. Anyway, it's Easter Sunday. But in addition to the places that won't rent because of pit bulls and supposed insurance claims, like any of that shit would matter. If something got damaged, I'd buy the materials and I'd fix it. Anyway, in addition to that, what's going on in my life right now is my girlfriend's in the hospital, pregnant with my kid. She's dehydrated, and her potassium levels are 3 times too low. It's my first kid, and I'm scared. But in addition to that, the places that will rent to me and will rent to my dog, this is what they want right now. They want proof of employment for the last 6 months. That's a new one on me trying to rent someplace. They want 3 to 6 months worth of rent paid up front. That's a new one on me. Like, just because this pandemic hits, thinks it gives y'all a reason to charge people an arm and a leg just so they can continue living too. That's not right. You know what? I'm one of those people where I think COVID-19 is actually the flu, and the tests, the cycles on them have been amped up. That's my opinion. I don't have any factual basis to back this up. So I want to make this clear, YouTube. I am not claiming that the pandemic is in fact false and here's the evidence. That's not what I'm claiming. I'm stating that I think this pandemic, my personal opinions, are as it was planned. It was a direct attack on the world. But those are my opinions, and nobody else has to share them. They don't have to be considered fact for me to feel that way and think that way. They don't. But either way, this is a test of humanity. This is the test to show whether you care more about your fellow man than your pocketbook. You know, and a lot of you are failing miserably. I care more about my fellow man. I just got a job. I'm still posting on Facebook to my friends, my personal friends. Hey, you got a job? You need a job? I got a referral for you. I'm trying to see me and my people come up together. It's lonely at the top if you don't bring a party with you, man. That's another reason I think a lot of these rappers commit suicide, man, is they get to the top, they realize they by themselves, and anybody could stab them in the back. That's why I listen to Tom MacDonald. Tom MacDonald, Bryson Gray, Tyson James. These are my 3 favorite rappers right now, with Tom MacDonald at number 1. Man, Tom, you killing it, man. Hangover Gang for life, man. I may not suffered with alcohol addiction, but I suffered with a K2 addiction for 9 years of my life. I overdosed and passed away 3 times and had to be resuscitated. If I wouldn't have been resuscitated those 3 separate times, I would not be here today. And you're my age, Tom. And a lot of people don't realize this, but it's a kick in the ass when somebody from your own age group can inspire you as if they're 20 years older than you. Mentally, Tom, I think mentally and intellectually, your brain is 20 years older than mine. And I mean that in a good way. But Mr. MacDonald, if you ever do happen to glance upon this video, I will say you've inspired me so much that I've went out and I got a computer. I'm not doing this live on my phone. We're doing this on a computer. And it's Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. I'm following that inspiration you've given me. Out of my paycheck, I went out and purchased a USB mic. Sometime soon, I'm going to be getting my interfaces and my beat making programs and all that stuff. And I'm putting my best foot forward. And I'm really not doing this for the money as my main reason. Yeah, that stuff would be nice because it'd be nice to be able to support my family. But music has always been a release for me. It's been a way for me to be vocal about my feelings. I really have a problem in life articulating and conversating. And mainly in part, it's because I'm autistic. And And there's probably going to be some people in the crowd. Oh, you don't look autistic. You're not autistic. Well, there's different levels on the spectrum. Don't tell me you're that dumb. You're that naive. You know, people watching at home that they don't understand that Asperger's syndrome is higher functioning, high intelligence autism. Anyway, sometimes it's hard for me to explain how I feel when I'm face to face to somebody, rather opposed to looking at a camera. I know I'm looking at one camera, but at that camera, it's potentially I'm staring billions of people down in the face all at the same time. But it's more nerve-wracking to have a person actually face to face and have a conversation with them, unless I grew up with them. It's hard to talk to new people. I mean, I've tried to reach out to Tom, like see if he could help me, make some things happen as far as my own poetry goes, and guide me and, help me articulate, rather, because I feel the poetry in my soul. Just sometimes the words don't come to me, at least not the right words. So, I mean, it takes a big man to admit you need help. Yeah, I need help. Nobody can do it by themselves. Tom MacDonald couldn't even do what he does, by himself. If he did not have the support system he had in his family, his mom, his sister, his dad, his girl, his best friend, and all the other people in his family that he's close to, if he didn't have them, if he was alone in this world, I don't think we would be seeing his success. One person cannot conquer the world without an army behind him, an army of some kind. And Tom made his army. He started one little troop and platoon, his family, his friends, and it grew into the army known as Hangover Gang. That's kind of really just what my dream is it's poetry to me. I care more about the fame than I do the fortune. And the reason I care about the fame more than the fortune is because I want to truly know that there's people out there that could feel my message, my story. I've been doing a whole lot of writing lately, and things are right now, they're just in raw material. But let's just say my first album without using a fake rap name and using my real name is going to be epic. For those of you who don't know, I either go by Citizen Patriot or Lil Guido. As far as the rap thing goes, the Little Guido thing, it's more of my dad's old nickname from when he was in his 20s and 30s was Guido, because he was a badass, and I'm Junior. So it's what Lil Guido more means to me than, say, copying a rapper like Lil Wayne or Lil Peep or Lil Yachty, all these other Lil rappers putting Lil in front of their name. No, mine was actually because I'm my father's son. I'm making my dreams come true. Whether people listen to me or not, whether people watch my videos or not. I mean, yeah, it has some weight on it, but it don't matter to me. Because I have a job. I make time to do this. I make time for this. You know what I mean? On the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, I'm off, and I'm off every other Friday. I work at the foundry making iron castings and ductile castings. That work is no fucking joke. That's a burn through 2 layers of gloves. That's a burn through 2 layers of gloves. That one's healed now, but that's a burn through 2 layers of gloves. That's a burn just from walking by and bumping something for a tenth of a second. It's hot and hard work. But I'm going to push myself. Hey, y'all, look, it's 11:11 in the morning. My girl is in the hospital currently for dehydration. I want y'all to send your prayers out to her, but I got to get off this live video and go see her on this Easter. I got to go to the store and get an Easter basket and all this stuff. I just woke up and did this video right after I got done doing my bathroom time. I ain't even shower, get dressed, nothing. I just came here straight to talk to you, America, because shit's fucked up. In the area I live in, it really is. It is, kind of like what Tom McDonald said, it's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. My own boss, he told me the only reason he hired me is because I have a baby on the way. I told him I have a baby on the way. I told him I need a job. I'm desperate. I'm willing to do anything. I'll be your bitch. Pardon my French. Anyway, he said he gave me a job because family's important. And it gave me hope that there's still good people out in this world. I love my boss. No homo. But I love my boss. I love having him as my boss. He's a good man. And he's worked in that foundry that I work at for 37 years. And he says, you never get used to this work. You just do it for your family. That's life. Let me tell you, it don't matter what job you're doing. You never get used to where you're at in life. But you push through it because you have to. For those who watch you. For those who are keeping their eyes on you and you're their inspiration, you're their influence. We do it for them. We do it for those who we love. You know, a lot of these cancel culture things that are going on nowadays. You guys want to cancel the nuclear family. One woman, one man, and children. Y'all want to make the family whatever someone wants it to be. I mean, and that's cool if you do it keep it to yourself. You stay the hell out of my area, my life. If I don't know you, I don't care what you do, as long as it don't affect me. That's honest to God how I feel. A man's judgment, it's not on me to pass God's judgment on you. Okay? You may consider someone saying, oh, homosexuality is a sin. You may consider that hate speech. You may. But if you haven't checked out Tom's song Fake Woke, maybe you should, because there's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. Some people just hate the fact they can't fathom, that's not true. I don't care if it was written 1,000 years ago. That can't be true. It doesn't match with my feelings. You see what I'm saying? I mean, who am I except just some bum? The next person's a bum. He's a bum. She's a bum. He's a bum and he's a bum. I've got some stories to be told, though. Y'all stay tuned. Because the next album coming out ain't a Little Guido album or a Citizen Patriot album. It's a Marcus Hendrickson album. It's going to be my real name on that album. And the album's name is Battleground. I can't tell you when it's going to be dropping or when the first single or music video is going to be uploaded, but I can tell you this. The people I've been in touch with, just know that album's going to be huge. I've been making some phone calls. I want to give a big shout out to one of my childhood best friends. One of them. I have many best friends throughout my years. I have my best friend. I've got my gay best friend. I've got the best friend I've known since I was 6. I've got my brother best friend. And I've got my best friend from another time in life. Either way, I have many categories of best friends. Now, I'm not going to say who my absolute best friend is because I'm not looking to spark jealousy or nothing like that. But one of my best friends, will not be saying which number on the tier this person is, but one of my best friends, his name is Nicholas Tallarico, and I grew up with him in the city of Streamwood, Illinois, for a short period of time. But we were very good friends. And recently got back in touch with him. And before I got back in touch with him, it'd been at least over 10 years since I talked to him. Come to find out, he'd been doing some work with some pretty important people. I'm not going to say no names. I will say one, though. One of them people on the Battleground album is going to be my buddy Nicholas Tallarico. And if y'all haven't checked out him and his music, y'all have been sleeping for real. I'm see if I can't put a link in the description to his music, to his YouTube channel. Y'all go check him out. But it's really crazy because people selling the new consoles for twice of what they're worth in the store. People are expecting half of your lease to be paid in full. Nobody wants to rent to people with dogs. You know, I just don't know what to say at this point. But I do want to say that if you are one of those property management companies and you're the executive that came up with the idea to charge ridiculous rates because the law says you can't evict somebody during the pandemic and the pandemic's still ongoing, you want your money up front so you're taken care of? But let me tell you something. If the law doesn't make any provisions for you as a landlord or property management company serving as landlord, then there are none for you. You don't get to make a private policy making those protections. If the law says you can't evict people, that doesn't mean that you can go ahead and say, oh, well, we're going to charge 3 to 6 months rent up front. And I need to see your employment verification, blah, blah, blah. for every person living in the house, and you need to make 3 times what the rent is. No. No. A person does not need to make 3 times what the rent is. Person needs to be able to make twice what the rent is, maybe. But that 3 times the rent shit, that is fucking ridiculous. And you landlords need to stop. Y'all better hope I never get famous for my music. Y'all better hope and pray. You executive types that care more about your money than you do the rest of the world, your comfort rather than everybody else's comfort, if you're one of those people, you better hope to God I never get famous, because I will make it my personal mission to expose that. Now, I gotta get going. I'm gonna wrap this video up. I've been saying that for like 5 minutes. But see, this is my thing. We need to stop thinking only of ourselves. That's the problem with humanity today. That's why we've gotten so fucking stupid, is instead of, we always think of ourselves. We never think of the next man around us. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm anti-communism. I believe individual liberties should be protected. But corporate and business interests should not. At least not by law or government. It should be your job as the businessman to protect your business by you making the tough and sometimes compassionate business decisions. It's not the government's job to protect your interests. It's not. And the people shouldn't fear their government. The government should fear the people. Because if we ever live in a moment where the people fear the government and the government doesn't fear the people, we're living oppressed. And you shall see the return of slavery. Only this time, it won't just be African Americans or blacks. It won't just be blacks in slavery. It'll be everybody. It'll be the world elites enslaving the lesser man. See, this is not a race war. Y'all have been blinded. This is a class war. It's the people with money trying to keep their money. It's the people with money trying to make sure that you never make it to the level they do. Anyway, America, stay strong. Stay blessed. Pray for that bumbling idiot. Everybody knows who I'm talking about. And then pray for the man who's our true leader. Y'all know who I'm talking about.